Welcome back, lords and ladies. Max here from Supraliminal Games, and we are doing some playing with our Grixis control deck. Let's take a look at it, because I have made some modifications to it since last we saw it. Double click here, go over the 1-drops, Opt and Duress. 2-drops include Kitesail Freebooter, Sensor, Strategic Planning, Moment of Craving ×3, Abrade ×2, Pull from Tomorrow ×2, Champion of Wits, Sailor of Means, Bloodwater Entity ×2, Sailor ×2, Enigma Drake ×2, Supreme Will, Doomfall, Golden Demise, Vizier of Many Faces, Bone Picker, Ravenous Chupacabra, Hostage Taker, Hieroglyphic Illumination ×2, same on the Chupacabra, Glyph Keeper, Hour of Devastation, and Consign to Oblivion. Lands are 2 Desert of the Mindful, 6 Island, 2 If Near Dead Lands, 4 Swamp, 3 Mountain, 2 Cinder Barrens, 4 Evolving Wilds, 1 Field of Ruin. Alright, so that's what we're rocking as far as decks go. So let's go ahead and get started. I think a couple choices that I'd like to change up. Definitely the Sailor of Means. Not spectacular. The field has definitely changed since Rivals and Ixalan were the only 2 sets in Arena, so I'd like to see something a little different. Our opponent is on the play. We are on the draw. Looks like we're pretty good on our lands. We can play turn 1 Wilds for a Swamp, turn 2 Freebooter. At the cost of a life, we can look into Opt. We have some options for sure. So let's see, we're playing Pack Fulfillment is the name of our opponent. We're going to give them the hello, because courtesy above all else. We get the hello back, play an island, and the turn we'll go ahead and we'll opt at the end of our opponent's turn. Looks like they're going to opt at the end of our turn. Beverage tonight, the dude's choice, White Russian. We're using Tito's for our vodka of choice. I find it to be a great mixing vodka. I'm not a big vodka guy at all. I'm usually a Russian standard guy, but Tito's much cheaper and mixes great. On its own, it's a little bit too much for me, but I'm digging it as far as a mixer. It's really good. Put island on the bottom, get island anyway. Okay, let's go If Near Dead Lands. I guess the game doesn't understand that this land can produce a black. This guy, or gal. Pact Fulfillment, cancel, walk the plank, negate. We're going to take the walk the plank because it's the only way they have to get rid of the freebooter, and we now know that they're sitting on 2 pieces of counter magic. So that's pretty good. A lot of these decks do have trouble. I mean, he's in black, so there's a little less trouble, but some of these decks do have an issue dealing with black threats and small creatures sometimes, because they just don't hit a removal spell and they're not prioritizing them. Take the Opt here and get in for 1 damage. And pass the turn. And the turn will look to crack our Evolving Wilds. Likely going for a red here, because we have another black in our hand with the If Near Dead Lands, and they're not legendary, they're just deserts. Go ahead and get to our 3rd color. Here we're kind of just happy doing whatever. We'll toss another island into play and just get in for 1 damage. We're going into our opponent's 5th turn, so this is where some haymakers are going to start. I imagine here's going to be a Hieroglyphic Illumination, much like we have. It's just a really good card. I'm just debating on if in response I want to go for it, but I'm going to let him counter me out if he wants to do so. I don't mind going down a card here and trade them for probably a negate. And lucky for us, he went into another. He did not play the island we saw revealed, so if he negates, he cannot then cancel if we follow up on our turn with a spell, which right now is not very likely unless he throws something into play for triple black. But right now, we just don't really have a good play. See if he counters our draw spell. Most of the time, they'll let you have your draw spells. It's the things you do with the draws. I mean, like haymakers, like Pull from Tomorrow. Usually not, but happy to end the turn here. Pull from Tomorrow is not really great, but I do like our Opt. I do like having the Abrade up. Gives us a lot of options, a lot of flexibility if they play a Troublesome Artifact. The format has changed a lot. Like, these control decks look like legitimate control decks now with the addition of I'm Unkept Block. Before it just kind of looked like kind of medium versions of control decks, but now definitely looks more like real deal control decks that we're playing, not just kind of jank. I'm not really thrilled to Doomfall here. Probably just combat again and call that a day. Not itching to tap out here right yet. We are running a little counter light in this build. I'm debating on the Pull from Tomorrow here. He'll likely counter it, but then we can get in with the Doomfall, so it's pretty attractive. So 2 islands leaves us 4 up. So draw 4, discard 1. Kind of demands a counter here. But then we can untap and hit him with our Doomfall, which I kind of like, so it really makes him think about it. Yeah, I think we're definitely going to draw out a counter here, at least the negate. No, we're full on drawing the cancel. Okay. Okay. So I like Doomfall here. And then I like Bloodwater Entity to get it back, because I think we're going to get that. I think we're going to get negated here. I don't think he's going to let us choose what card. I think he's going to just force us to take the negate, which is totally reasonable. No? Okay, his hand is not very good. Once again, we're on 2 counters and a Walk the Plank. We'll get rid of Walk the Plank. He can cancel, so I'm a little more hesitant to Bloodwater Entity here. If near Deadlands, may just activate that here, get rid of this freebooter, which is causing him quite the aggravation. He has to sack the yeah, that is fine. I mean, that freebooter swung 5 times, so I mean that's not negligible off a one damage creature. Go ahead and opt here in the turn. I don't think this is going to draw out a counter. Definitely don't need that land here. I think I like and a colorless off of the If Near Deadlands to cast a Champion of Wits. This would have to full on draw the cancel if he's not just going to Walk the Plank it. Definitely don't need those 2 Evolving Wilds. And that's all we can do here, really. Still holding on to that tight to that Bloodwater Entity. I'm not exactly sure how I want to go about using it yet. We'll see. I mean, it seems like he, like us, is very threat light. I'm definitely going to Abrade this at the end of turn. Because then I can run out the Bloodwater Entity at that time. So we'll see what he does here. I think he's going to value that treasure map higher than that negate. I can tell you that much. But he's given us our first good Abrade target. I don't think he's going to let this resolve. I wouldn't let this resolve. Especially with no plan really in his hand. Now I'm going to try the Bloodwater Entity. This could draw out a cancel here. Yep. And we kind of have to let this stuff happen. Landing this Enigma Drake's a big deal. The walk the plank is going to be annoying, but I think if we can hit another turn or two with Champion of Wits, he may be forced to just walk the plank on the champion, even though he won't want to. We'll definitely hang on to the Chupacabra for when we need it. Yeah, I feel no need to run out the Enigma Drake. Not really feeling the need to run out the Chupacabra. It does speed up the clock a considerable amount, but not so much so that I'm willing to just kind of throw it away. At this point, he's definitely looking for a haymaker. She is looking for a haymaker. I could definitely see maybe dropping the Sailor of Means to put in one or two counter spells. Cycling Fetid Pools. I wish I had Fetid Pools. But what are you gonna do? Opponent again moving through their combat step. No, I think we're on first main still. Glyph Keeper is annoying. Okay. We're going to try the Chupacabra. Not that way. Well, what we could do is we could... Let's attack, because if he blocks, that'll give us some information. Yeah, that was my thoughts on what would happen there. Not necessarily a huge fan of putting counters on it, though turning it into a 3-1 flyer is a lot more attractive. I don't necessarily feel like throwing away a spell to deal with that. So I think we're going to end the turn here. I'm going to try to abrade it at the end of turn. Or no, I can't abrade it at the end of turn. Because of I was thinking the Deadlands, but they can only be activated at sorcery speed. So that's a thing. Turn. So we're getting card advantaged out pretty hard. We need to produce some kind of win con. I'm anxious to see what he does with this Glyph Keeper. It may depend on what they draw. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not prepared to throw in the towel yet. Results. No blocks. Okay. So I'm just kind of going to thump on him to see what he does. He has to come up with something. Granted, I have a 5-turn clock. He's got a 3-turn clock. So his clock is significantly better than mine. Let's undo that. I'm just going to end the turn here. Again, I don't see a need. He may arch. Still leaves up enough mana. Interested. And I'm trying to bounce it here. Let him eat up some mana, recasting it on his turn. Or see if he counters it. Thinking about how I want to approach the next turn. We're a little constrained on mana, believe it or not. He's definitely doing way better than us on that front. Oh boy. Supreme Will looking mighty shabby here. I mean, it's still Impulse, right, on one side. Problem is I'm choked on black sources. Oblivion here. See if this draws any hate. He may just draw a card, and just pad the blow. It would surprise me if we see another draw here. Nope. Hand's just looking a little shabby. Not willing to ditch the creature removal, unfortunately. I think we're going to end the turn here in Supreme Will. I'm looking for a black source or a red source, because we are choked still on those two pieces. I mean, we can try to Chupacabra plus Drake, but Chupacabra feels bad as it's a 2/2 ground guy. Drake blocks for a turn. It does tip the race in our favor. Which would be ideal. What would be ideal is a lightning strike, because then we can just hit him to 2 and then try to kill him. Could try a Supreme Will here, but I'm going to let that resolve. Let's see what else they have lined up here. They're definitely cognizant of being with the red, being able to stretch and deal the extra damage, so they're definitely paying that color respect, which is smart, because what would suck is just to lose out of nowhere here. So that may indicate they're low on counter magic. It may just also indicate that they had that in their hand and they could just, not risk it and not have to waste their singles and counter on that. I think I'll take an Enigma Drake, though I was really hoping for a red or black source there. Bloodwater Entity's not great. Still can't cast the Hour of Devastation. Unfortunately, I can't afford to activate the If Near Dead lands, plus the Chupacabra. I mean, I know I just don't see a way to win this game here. unfortunately, we're too mana constrained. Okay. We cast 12 blue or black spells. Almost a green or blue, and then there's green or white, which not really looking to do. Let's try another one. There's a bit of a longer game. We'll do one more. Gold rank 4. Jeez, that's not good. We're gonna get wrecked. Not loving that. Not loving that. This hand looks pretty darn bad. One color. I think we got them all again, unfortunately. As if we weren't already going to lose this game hard enough. I'm going to keep it. It's bad. It's one land. I got to just spin it and hope for a land. Vampires. Okay. He's into Lord on the next turn. I like how they put done and fail to find as if they do two different things. Maybe if they put them in the reverse, I was like, you fail to find, so therefore you are done. Okay. Keeping hope alive. No reason to run out Freebooter here. Like, maybe next turn if I don't draw a land, I'll consider running out Freebooter. I don't want to just scoop for you guys. I'm going to try to opt to make my land drop. I guess I'm going to get a red source just so I can get on all my colors. The Sailor puts me on all my colors, and double Island might be better. Yeah, I'm going to do Island because that lets me get to pull. I can still make the Enigma Drake off the Sailor of Means. May just have to be Freebooter though, just to get 2 plays. But it blocks so bad on this board. I think I'm just going to go for it, unfortunately. I can at least double block the Lord if he swings it. Where now he's free to, just lets me get a piece of creature removal out of the way. So I'm not just cold to a piece of creature removal. Champion of Dust coming down here. Going to reload his hand for 3. Unfortunate. I don't know if we can afford to block here. To double block? Maybe? But I mean, we just get, yeah, we just get, unfortunately, pummeled pretty hard. A little bit of an Edict effect here. And Doomfall, I like the flexibility of it. Especially against dinosaurs if they just play a Carnage Tyrant. I'm going to get in with the Freebooter because... yeah. I mean, I'm not going to block the Legion Lieutenant. I mean, I could have gone block Legion Lieutenant. I could go, Shafet Dunes. But it really doesn't do much different, unfortunately. Puts me to 1 instead of 0. Or 1 instead of 2. Which doesn't do a whole lot. I'll keep playing as long as I can for you guys and gals. This time I get, if he swings with both, I can block Legion Lieutenant with Enigma Drake, block the Champion of Dusk with the Kitesail Freebooter. At this point, probably has to have removal, right? No, still digging for it. I'm sure he wants to find removal and just clean this up. Our opponent's name is AK634TKZPA, so shout out there. You're kicking our butts. Gold rank 4 against bronze rank 4. You know, seems fair. So unfortunately we have to block with our Drake here. We still can't afford to just give them Ixalan's Binding. That's just nonsense. But yeah, that's it. Good game. So before I go for the night, I'll play my red deck for you that I've been working on a little bit as well, just so you can kind of see what that looks like. And it won't play a long game at all. So we'll try that. RDW for red deck wins, if you're not familiar with that. Some of the early red decks were called red deck wins. And we're an even better opponent, gold rank 3. I haven't played since the last video. I streamed with Dan while he was playing, and we were playing the dinosaur deck and some of the other precons, so everybody could check those out. But I haven't played much since then. So, like, personally, I haven't played since I made the deck building video. I played one time after I made the deck building video. Let me correct myself. And, you know, a lot of people have been playing a lot of games, and a lot of people are streaming it now. The community's definitely more open about what is good as far as decks. This hand is pretty bad for us. We need to get on to something a little bit quicker than that. And, of course, we mull into no lands. And now we have an even worse looking hand. We can't even cast that until the third turn. I think we're going to lose this game, unfortunately, pretty hard. Oh, we forgot our hellos. Gotta get them hellos in. No reason not to be nice. I definitely am for friendliness in the game, even if we lose. I mean, I'm not a good loser at all. I am a salty, nasty loser, but I try not to take that out on my opponents. It's not, you know, we're both trying to play to win. Sometimes we draw awful hands like this. You know, it is what it is. We'll play this and run it right into a Essence Scatter. Or he may take the opportunity to just use a Moment of Craving or a piece of instant speed black removal. Huh. I'm not sure how we faded any piece of instant speed something, but maybe it's just a Golden Demise, because why not? Okay, I'm as confused as everyone else out there. Maybe he just doesn't care about 4 damage, I'm not really sure. I mean, it could be just, you know, I'll wait and see if he runs out another creature, so I'll Golden Demise to try to get max value. It could be just that he has nothing in the way of creature removal. Some of these decks have moved more towards counters and card draw and try to out-card advantage your opponent, as opposed to dealing with the board, because the game has definitely changed with Amonkhet block to move away from just board, like, you know, the board matters 100%. So, yeah, I mean, we're seeing that here. I mean, I really wish we could draw a land with some heavy hitters in our hand. It might be a Moment of Craving. Of Vraska's Contempt. Probably feels bad using that. I'm just going to go ahead and barrage their face. I want to tap out. I mean, the board doesn't really matter to me. I have a Magma Spray on the cheap, a Lightning Strike on the less than cheap. I mean, you know, we'll see how it goes. Happy to end the turn here. Anything that comes out, I have 3 mana. I can deal up to 6 damage. I mean, I'm not thrilled about just letting the control deck keep cards in their hand. But we'll see. I feel like we have some decent answers in our hand. If they play a threat, we can actually kind of like bait them out and use their counter. Maybe we get a 5th land and we can go Glorybringer or Monstrosaur. Never lucky. Kind of for running out the Monstrosaur here. Don't really care if it gets countered and it's not nearly as good as the Glorybringer. Just get in more damage. See if they remove it. Nope. Still drawing cards. Still drawing cards. Didn't say you win the game, right? You draw cards. Certainly not beating down with rigging runners. But we'll see. Maybe our 2-2 for 1 is good enough to get there. If he's going to kill it, he should have killed it before I attacked, because now I got the chance to repeating barrage. It resolves. Let me just put it back into my hand. That's 3 free damage at a point if I need it. I'll try repeating barrage. See if they counter it, and if not, I'll try to get the Firebrand in under it. If they just take the 3 damage to the face, that's fine. So the nice thing about having them under 10 is you can tell they feel the pressure about needing to counter pretty much everything that I play. So we'll see what they're up to. At this point, once they start to run out of counters, that's when they may feel the need to play a threat. That feels bad. There's not really much we can do here, unfortunately. Scarab God resolves. I'm gonna try to abrade it. They know I have the Magma Spray, so if they're going to counter a spell, it's going to be the Magma Spray. I'm going to force them to have it. I mean, I can't not here. If they have the counter spell, they have the counter spell. I mean, like, I have to, you know. Like, Nephew the Crop Entangler. And the turn. So unfortunately, they're going to get my Glory Bringer. They went for the Monster Store. Interesting. I thought for sure it'd just be Glory Bringer, kill the Neph Crop Entangler, swing for 9. But, whatever. I'm not going to block if they attack. I'm 100% taking all the damage. Or they may bring back the Glory Bringer still yet. I'm going to go for the full double. Oh, did they exile it with Roskis? Oh, they exiled it with Doomfall, of course. Okay. Block here. My only chance to win is to get in damage. Cards. I wonder how many Scarab Gods they're running. I'm just thinking. There's no way I can live here. That's all we got. Alright, so we managed to lose a whole mess of games. And you can see definitely the field has changed a lot as far as what answers people are running. We've seen a lot more in the way of counter magic, far less in the way of actual board control. Like we saw a lot of Roska's Contempt there. Not very much. It's very much a counter and control magic game. And we're all just living in it. So until next time, I will try to brew up something else spicy. Maybe try to work on these decks a little bit and see if we can get a couple wins in for you. Peace.